What's going on, everybody? This is Matt, and I want to tell you guys about a super dope show called Shoujo Sunday. And so what they do is they kind of talk about everything shoujo anime, and so they just started talking about Maid-sama, so now would be a great time for you guys to go ahead and check that out, so jump in.
Are you a fan of shoujo anime? Do you wish you could find a podcast that gushed about your favorite shoujo moments in film and manga? Then you need to follow the Shoujo Sunday podcast. Hosted by magical girls Gianna Luna and Chica Supreme, Shoujo Sunday aims to review and reflect on shoujo properties that deserve more attention than what they currently receive. Listen and laugh as they use ice cream puns to talk about anime like Maid-sama, Ouran High School Host Club, Fruits Basket, Tokyo Mew Mew, and so much more. Follow Shoujo Sunday on your preferred podcast platform and across social media.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for coming through and listening today, man. If it's your first time, thank you for coming through, man. We
the
here,
guys,
man.
The friends.
Yeah, man, the motherfucking friends. I shouldn't have cussed at the beginning, but too bad. Anyway, let me introduce myself. My name is Matt. I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast, and we are streaming everywhere. That means Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, check out our socials at the Friends Pod. Engage, talk to us. Say what we saying right, saying what we say wrong. If you just want to curse, be like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
we want to hear that too. For sure. Fuck you too.
Yeah, we embrace hate. If you want to just hate on us, that's cool too. Yeah, but like just like you said, interact with us, man. Let us know what's going on with y'all. But I guess let's talk about what's going on with us, man, this week. So
we actually, I saw this one comment, and I just like the interaction. He was like, "Man, who is these lame ass niggas?"
Yeah,
I saw that shit, and I was just like, "Man, we going some places." Like, I was like, I wanted to respond back like with hate. Like, I really wanted to say, "Who was you, lame ass nigga?" Like I really had like a lot of like I was really debating how to respond to this person.
yeah.
But I was sitting there and I was just like, all right, let me ask Matt to respond to this. I was like, can you respond to these comments? Because like my response wouldn't have been like,
Yeah, it was gonna go left.
it would have been real left real quick. And that's not like, I don't want to have that kind of like in our comments and like hate and shit like that and me cursing and blah, 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 back and forth with people. It's like,
and this is my thing though. Like you said, we some lame ass niggas from a 1 minute clip, maybe even a 30-second clip. So it's like
I was even thinking about deleting it.
Deleting the comment.
Yeah, just deleting the comment in general.
No, it can be.
But
there.
I was just like, nah, I'm gonna let that sit there.
But the funny thing is, as soon as I tried to, because it was some background, so it was a video about Kaepernick that we, had a conversation about in the past podcast, and he was like, "Who is these lame ass niggas talking?" So I responded back and I said something like, "Okay, let's talk about it. Like, how do you feel about it?" No response. So it's like, nigga just be saying shit.
Yeah, and this fucking AVI was a fucking football team, pussy.
I ain't even
like
go
show
that
your
far.
face, nigga.
I ain't even gotta say he put like I don't feel no type of way, bro. You can feel
I
some
said
type
that,
of way.
Rod from the Friends Podcast, pussy. Like, get off that team nuts.
No, for real though. Like, but I don't know, man. I'm not tripping.
I'm just talking about it is what it is.
But yeah, shout out, but still keep commenting. Like, we ain't gonna come at you crazy. Like, let's have a conversation about it. Like, that's my main thing. Don't just say niggas.
I love
lame.
the engagement. I love the back and forth.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I guess let's get into it. So what's been going on with you this week?
I guess dealing with comments like that and like really finding my inner peace. Cause seeing shit like that, I could have reacted just like Gilly,
man.
like to Rick Ross, like you goofy ass nigga. Like, like just start snapping. But sometimes you gotta really recollect yourself and be like, man, am I let this nigga ruin my day,
Yeah.
my beautiful morning? I'm having coffee, a good eggs, a little runny, some bread. Like it's like I'm not gonna let that shit ruin my mood and ruin the blessings that God had set for me for this beautiful day.
He woke you up that morning,
Allah.
you know. No, that's real. That's real. So like that shit really made you feel some type of way though. Like when you read it, like how you really feel though.
I was drinking,
Okay, yeah.
so
So you
when
was
I
feeling some
read
type
it,
of way.
like I was just like, it just took me back. I was just like, who's he talking to? Like that's really what how I felt originally. I was like, man, who's this nigga talking to? Like, and I had a bunch of different comments. I was like, man, I was just a bunch of different things. Like I just recently just said, but it's like delete it, comment, and I was just like, man, it's just better if you comment. I just left it alone.
I took it easy because I feel like what's the point? But we already spoke on that. Let's go ahead and get into my week. So I ain't been doing shit for real. Went out the last couple days, got too drunk on both days, and just bar hopping and shit like that. Other than that, editing and just chilling in the crib. Like the world is crazy, man. I'm just at home, bro. Like
Yeah, we were talking about like something a little bit off mic, and it was you said we can keep them anonymous. This person contacted you said when you meet someone at a club or at a bar or whatever, wherever you at, do you hit them back up the next day? And I thought that was a good question. What do you think?
yeah, I think you brought up a good point where it was like, well, did you make plans for the next day? Like that's the first thing. So like, did you make plans to see them in the future? And if so, then of course hit them at the next day. But other than that, like I don't really see no big problem with hitting them. Like shooting them a text, like yo, what's up? Good to meet you. Like it depends on how you want to play it though. Like you just trying to smack, you just trying to smash, or you really want to get to know shorty. Like it depends. I don't want to give up all the male, game right now, but it depends.
And me
But
personally, I mean, when I heard it, like what you were just saying, what I said, I say you should just communicate right away the next day. But I don't. What does it hurt? Like, I mean, at least like if they don't answer, or they don't pick up, or whatever, blah blah blah, then they just really were on the juice that night.
yeah, exactly.
Like they were just talking. Like it's not you, just not him.
I mean, if you sat up there in the bar and had a 2 hour conversation with shorty, and like, why would you not hit her up the next day? Y'all obviously
Yeah.
had a lot to talk about. You know what I
Sometimes
mean?
like you just want to talk to someone that night, and it's not like
It do be like that.
it's not like a long term thing. Like they just think about this. I would assume. Yeah, I'm not trying to like portray what the ins and out of why people do what they do,
hmm
but I would imagine it would just be like this person's buying me drinks, and it's good conversation. So why not let it flow? Live in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And it don't got to be for tomorrow. This shit for tonight. And so it's
Exactly.
like,
It's like whatever happened in any life, it could be just something going on. They just not really trying to do that right now. It's just
right.
it's not in their cards.
Right. So yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation because there's so many different factors that go into it. Like, was she just there just to talk to you because you was just a person there and you just talk to her, or does she really think you was fine and attractive? Like, it depends. So I guess like you said though, like you'll know if you hit her back up and see what the fuck she say. Like if
Yeah, I
she hits
mean,
you with that red receipt,
because if you
it's
think
over
you
with.
only won, you a goofy.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
like you think you're gonna be the only one that really messaging them.
Yeah,
You
goofball.
gonna you just you're not thinking with your noggin. You
Right.
got to use your head.
For real. No, that's real. So excuse me. But yeah, man. So I guess we can go ahead and get into the first topic that we have. So go ahead and intro that.
For sure. So the first question of discussion, and it's a common debate, is nature versus nurture. And I know a bunch of thoughts are probably running through the listeners' minds right now. But I kind of want to go into the definitions. when you think of nature, it refers to the genetics and all the factors that are inherited. And nurture is refers to the variables of the environment, things you get from the world around you after you were born. So I guess the just psychology and around that topic is like when you're born, like there's always like, man, are people born evil
Right.
or are they just a subject of their environment? And that's the nature versus nurture discussion. So I guess I want to ask what you think about it.
Man, first I just want to say I hate shit like this. Like I love talking about shit like this, but I hate it because there's no there's no concrete answer to that. And I think it's that's one of the beautiful things about life is just like the unknown sometimes. But then sometimes you just want to know, like, is it are we born evil? Are we born racist? Are we born having these different ideologies, or is it really just nurture? So that's my first thought. But I think that um in terms of nature versus nurture and which one is more prevalent and which one like matters more in your life, I feel like it's a little bit of both. I think it's damn near 50-50. um because I do think there are some things that that certain animal instinct, quote unquote, that we have that come from nature, but then there's some things that your mom give you, like.
Explain a little bit about specific qualities that you think.
So let's see. So like for example, like that's a good question. So I would say like, so if a person grows up and they are they grow up and they family is KKK members, right? They don't really know shit about no other races like that. Like they probably in a insulated circle, like they know white people, and that's pretty much it. But they family is KKK members. Like they're gonna grow up and likely have those same ideologies unless they can get a different perspective. Like if you're
Yeah.
from a small town in West Virginia,
If you
you're
were
not gonna
born in
really
the 50s when segregation and everything was going on,
that too.
all your circle was white. I mean, it wasn't allowed for colored people to be around.
Right. Yeah, and
So,
that's a different layer too. Yeah.
so of course, it's like if you grow around that much hate and it's the only people that you see,
Hmm.
um, it's gonna shock. It's like it's gonna be a shocking thing to you.
Right.
Um,
Right. And so that's nurture for sure. Like that's what that is, and that's not. I do feel like that's something that's learned, like racism. Any type of ism is learned. Some people may say differently, but I disagree. Now, nature will be like, um, I don't know. Like I kind of want to say like
I mean, you said 50-50. I mean, what do you mean?
that's what I'm trying to say. Like what could be nature? Like I
Because
don't
I
know.
mean, I know how I feel. Like, I
Yeah. Go
think
ahead.
most shit is nurture.
You think
I
so?
I would say 100% nurture is just how it's your environment where you were born, and that kind of describes how you are as a person. Like, it's just the shit that you go through, and that's something that's just happens over time. And so, like that's what I think nurture is, anyways. Is like I I don't think it's nature at all. I don't think you're just born a specific way and things are so defined. Um, like it's predetermined. Like it's just fate. Like I don't believe in. I don't just believe in fate.
I think it's some things that's nature though. Like I feel like because something I've been saying for a while is like the capacity to learn and be like intelligent and stuff like that, or just like have the brain power to do that. I think that's nature. I feel like everybody's not meant to be a genius, or everybody can't doesn't have the capacity
I'm
to.
not trying to offend anyone, so I guess like if I can maybe I can understand if someone was had like born with like autism or something like that.
Yeah, no, but autistic people can be super good at one thing too. It depends on how where you are on the spectrum. But um, no, go ahead though. My bad.
No, no, I mean I mean that's a good point for sure. But if I'm not being politically correct and I'm just saying in general, yeah, they could be very good at something like for sure. But most qualities that people care about communicating and being able to grasp very common
Social
concept
cues.
like social cues and just general things.
Yeah.
Um, People with autism are typically not able to do those. They may be good at specifically way better than most people, of course. Like I believe people are good at something that's exceptional. For sure. Like I believe everyone's exceptional at something, and some people really just don't find it. They don't find what they're really good at, and that's something that just takes time. Um,
Yeah. I
but
don't know.
in the idea of nature, yeah, I mean, if someone with autism or anything like that, maybe they're not gonna pick up on the social cues. They're not gonna have the idea of nurturing being able to raise this person because their mind is just wired a different way.
And the thing is,
So
you can try to nurture them to that point, but I feel like that's nature. Like you're born with this, with this ailment. I don't want to make it sound like it's a bad
it's
thing. I
not
say
even
ailment.
just that. It's plenty of different like mental. It's people who
Yeah.
blind
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
who can't hear. It's like if you couldn't see your whole life, I couldn't imagine a racist blind person. Like that's that
That's
would
why that
be.
Clayton Bixby shit was so funny though, like on Chappelle show, cause like nigga, you blind, bro, and you still like what? Like how is you still racist? You blind?
That's exactly what I was thinking of. I was just like, that'd be funny as fuck. Like what are you talking about?
Like you can't even see me, bro. Like what are you talking about? Like you might be able to tell I'm black from my voice, but like you don't even. How you hate somebody for their skin color and you don't even see color? You don't see anything.
And these
So
days, people, it's not even a black voice. It's just like where you from. It's just how they talk.
yeah,
This why ain't black people just speak how they learned and wherever they grew up? That's just how they talk. Stop speaking black. It's just
right,
if you
right, right.
were there and you lived there, that's just how you talk.
Because you learn language from black
Yeah.
people, and black
I
people speak a certain way.
I had someone
Sometimes.
at work recently. It was this. She's Caribbean. She was like, "Where are you from? Like, you sound Caribbean." Like, like she
What?
said the way I talk and everything. Like, she was like, "Yeah, you just sound like you from the Caribbean or like you from somewhere else." And I'm like, "Oh." I'm from the South. She's like, "Oh, the South Caribbean." And we just laughed. I'm like, "All right,
Wait, are you Caribbean at all? Or you just?
no, I'm not Caribbean at all. I'm African American. I'm black."
I ain't gonna lie. I don't even think you really have no like accent at all. I don't even know where she would have got that.
I definitely have some things may say is definitely Southern. I mean,
Yeah, but like Caribbean though.
yeah, I mean she's definitely has the accent and everything. Like she's from there. And for her to say that, I was just like, damn, I must really do. Like, it made me feel like, man, I got to visit there. Like,
Yeah.
because I was like, man, I do. I
Right.
took it as a compliment. Really, I was like, that's
You
what's
know,
up.
you
Like,
can just go there and just assimilate, just fit in.
yeah, I was like, that's my people then.
Yeah.
Like, I did a test of my heritage or my DNA or
Mm-hmm.
something, whatever the website was.
Yeah, 23andMe maybe.
I sent them my swab or whatever. Said majority Nigerian or something like that. Um,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bunch of different other ones. It's like Ashaniki Jew or something. And like,
Really?
I had a bit of Asian. Um, yeah, I was just all over.
Yeah, I'm
So I
curious
was
with
like,
my
man,
shit.
I'm Jewish.
It's crazy.
Like, I would have never known. Like that 3%, 1%, whatever. I was like,
Damn.
I'm more Jewish than a lot of these Jewish people. I'm Hebrew out here.
Fuck out of here, man. Nah, I never wanted to do that shit because I don't know. I'm one of them conspiracy type niggas. It's like I'm not doing that. I'm not sending my DNA nowhere, even though they already got all our data anyway. But like, I can't do that. But yeah. I guess getting back to the shit though, like nature versus nurture. So you feel like it's really mostly nurture.
Yeah, I still want to get why you said it's 50-50. And I thought I gave you time to think about it. Like,
Yeah.
how does that?
I think you just exposed me though, because I'm sitting here having a hard time, like trying to figure out, like, okay, what will be nature? Like, what would be something that we do that's like by nature? Like, I think that, I mean, obviously diseases or like mental health can be passed down through nature, like from generations. Like, um, but I can't think of nothing that we inherently do that's like, oh, we do that. Like, I don't know, man. I really can't think of anything. So I might be closer to where you talking about, where it's like it's mostly nurture. Um, but nonetheless, I just think that, does this matter? Like, does this conversation matter, or is it just something that we just talk about just to talk about? Like,
Of course, it's something to talk about just to talk about. This is a podcast. I mean, I got some examples here that from a post of both, so maybe
okay,
that might help.
okay.
Um, so some examples of nature. Um, the nature of the individual plays a big role. Nature has endowed her with beauty and intelligence. So some people are just born beautiful, and like we already talked about being ugly. Like, what you gonna do? You just got dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
Um, she had never seen the pettish side of his nature before. She was nicknamed Sunny because of her happy nature. Violence is aberrant to gentle nature. She trusted people. That was her nature. I guess some examples of nurture would be um, they feel nurture is the infinitely greater importance than nature. The antagonism between nature and nurture controls their fate. The womb is ultimate safe haven and the ultimate symbol of care and nurture. Nature, nurture. My fault. Is psychopathy due to nature or nurture? It's just
Hmm. I mean,
maybe those might draw some ideas
they
between the
didn't
two.
really help me. The only
Nah, it
thing that
didn't really
stood
help
out,
me either.
yeah, but
I
what
ain't gonna
stood
lie.
out to me was like,
This post trash.
yeah, low key. I think I don't know. We might be thinking about it in the wrong way, but the thing that stuck out to me was just like the violence is abhorrent to his gentle nature. Like, because that's something that I hear a lot of times when I'm talking about like, or we could talk about mass shootings, or we could talk about just shootings in general, or just stabbings and shit like that. Like how people might be born violent, and I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that people literally is born with that inclination to just do some fucked up shit. But it depends, because I feel like if you are born violent, then it has to be something mental going on, like where it's like maybe you have a mental health issue. So I feel like that could be the nature part.
They do say some mental issues are passed down,
Yeah, for sure.
like bipolar.
You
That's
know,
supposed to be a genetic thing.
bipolar depression, anxiety,
So
like all that shit. And especially if we talk about what black people been through in this country, like yeah, this generational trauma, like for sure, it's still evident.
yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, it's just pretty much what you believe.
Yeah,
Even though that said things are genetic, I just don't really believe the shit a lot
like
of the
what
time.
specifically?
Like like bipolarness or something like that. Like how a person acts is just based on their past, their parents or something like that. Like I get when it comes to like actual ailments that you can see. Um,
Hmm.
like I don't know. I just don't believe like if two cousins or something like that like mess with each other, like maybe then there would be a genetic issue amongst like that's just like that's science.
Right.
So like it's a good chance that something's gonna happen. Um, but if it's just I feel like a lot of people just use excuses for their behavior. Like bipolarness, but oh yeah, my family's bipolar. This is why I act and this is why I do this. A lot of times, just like it could just be a shitty person.
I mean, that's true.
Like it may not have anything to do with your genetics or anything like that. It could have just been you. But I mean, I don't want to like blame them because maybe it is a genetic thing. I don't know.
Or they could have been nurtured that way. Like if their parent was doing some shit. Their parent was bipolar. I don't know if that's what I was thinking. Like, can
If that
you
was how they was
learn?
raised, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
can you learn to be bipolar, or is it something you're born with? I'm not sure. I don't have the knowledge on that. But if you could learn to be bipolar and your parent is bipolar, maybe you just learned it. Like, I don't know. So I think we could probably have a deeper conversation if we do some more research and like really,
If we had like a more professional in this psychology
yeah,
field to come on and talk to us about it
no cap.
and the science behind it, because there's a lot of conversation that can be discussed with mental health and the behaviors of people.
Hmm.
That's really just the psychology of the brain. So
Man, that's one of the most interesting things to me, the behaviors of people. Like, people be like, oh, it's life forms out here like space, and like I'm worried about, and I'm interested about what's going on the earth. Like, I don't really give a fuck about space. Like, it's so much more interesting shit here to me. But I guess we can circle back and get back into this nature versus nurture with some more facts and more like angles and shit like that. But I guess with that being said, we can get into this next topic. So
yeah. So this ain't meant to be long. It's just I guess it's just in the midst of thought. And I was just thinking of derogatory terms that's funny or the origin. And like how the hell do these names even come about?
hmm
And I mean, at one point, like I was moved to a suburb and I heard some of these names and primarily being moved to a white neighborhood from a black one. Names that I never heard before, and it confused the hell out of me. And I was just like, "What the hell?" Like, it was just confusing. So some names that I heard, like I remember the first one. I was riding my bike, just going down the street, minding my business, heading to my friends from school. I was in middle school at the time, and this white dude was on his porch just having a beer, and he just yelled, "Beaver!
huh?
You fucking beaver!" And like at that time, I just really didn't even I didn't understand it, and I don't know why it always stuck in my mind. But I don't know why when I looked and I just waited, I just nodded. I just like, well, I just did. I was like beaver. I was like, I don't know.
I
I
still
just
don't understand what
nodded
is
and
that.
smiled. And it was just like, okay.
That's a racial slur.
Yeah, I mean, I realized later on that it was a racial slur. He was just talking shit, and I'm just like, oh,
What do that? What is the what? Why beaver though?
yeah. That's why I was like, what the fuck? Where the hell does beaver come from?
I thought beaver is like vagina though. That's what I thought. I thought he was just calling you pussy.
I don't know what his definition of, but I was always just like, he just yelled that shit, fucking beaver, and I was like, okay.
I don't know. I think we gotta have a real conversation that like racial slurs be funny sometimes. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, jigaboo is a funny word. Like, porch monkey is funny. Like, what, a porch monkey? You gonna call me a porch monkey? Monkey? Expect me not to laugh? Like,
Is there
what?
anything that you recall that you can recall? Or any
Nigger.
story?
Nigger. That's the
And
only
like
one.
how it made you feel?
I didn't even know what to say. It was
Like it
just
was
like,
just
damn.
talked about the story. Was it at where was it? Was it
It
at
was at school.
school?
I was at school. It was during gym. I used to have gym class. Like,
What age were you?
I was about goddamn definitely it was high school, so I don't really remember what year. It was probably like my
It
second
don't
year.
matter, just like high school in general. That
Yeah,
gives
about
people a good
15.
range.
Yeah, probably about 15, 16. Yeah, he just said that shit. I don't remember the whole context of what it was, but like he just said it. And I was like, oh, word, okay.
Was it talking directly at you? Was it just in general, just like he was just talking to other people and he overheard it?
No, I was in the circle. We was in the conversation. He didn't call me that, but like he said it. Like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like directed towards me, but he was talking about black people, so it was directed towards me. You know what I mean? But I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said that shit, and it was just like, oh, okay.
Like you're not like them, Matt. I'm not talking
Like,
about you.
man, I used to hear that a lot too, man. Like, or even with my name Matt, like, I've never heard a black person named Matt before. Like, yeah, like, okay. I mean, shit, me either, to be honest. My grandpa, you know what I'm saying, him, but nah. But in terms of funny ones, like, I mean, like I said, racial slurs are funny. I think cunt is funny, like the word cunt.
I mean, I definitely think some are funny. Like when I hear mayonnaise
Oh,
anything like that around that nature, cracker, like where the hell does cracker come from?
I was definitely calling my white friend a saltine back in the day. He used to get so mad at that. I used to be like saltine,
like there was names like the Miss Kids. I for sure heard them be called Oreos.
oh
Like
yeah.
the white kids would call him Oreo all the time,
Oh.
and I'll be
When the
like,
white
yo,
kids calling you that,
yeah,
that's how you know it's bad. God damn.
that was Phoenix.
Oh,
They
okay.
was sitting there calling him Oreo.
You ain't had to put a name out there, but yeah.
Oh,
You ain't had to say a name for real. I'll bleep it out.
yeah,
I
it
guess.
could be left out. But,
Yeah, but
I was just like, man.
when the white kids saying you an Oreo, that's crazy.
And I just be looking at him like, is he gonna say something? He gonna do something? Like, I just be looking.
Is he? Is he an Oreo? I don't know.
When I was looking.
What's that? Because it's like white on the inside, black on the outside.
It just means you're mixed, in my opinion. I'm like, yeah, he is mixed.
But what is an Oreo? It's white on the inside, black on the outside. That's what they mean. Like you really a white man trapped in the black man body. Like that's what they trying to say. Like, but other than that, like,
Oh,
other than that, like I don't know. There's a bunch. Like I said, racial slur is funny, man.
yeah, it's a lot.
I hate that they are funny, but it's just funny. Like
It's definitely not. It's definitely not funny to a lot of people, and
No, for sure.
a lot of hurt, and
No, yeah.
it just depends, like you as a person, how you deal with it. Because I know people that it really did affect, and yeah, they'll literally get mad and they want to start a war. Pretty much, it seemed like awful words, and I don't know. I guess it just depends on your upbringing. Some black families be like, you gotta hit them immediately. Some black families be like, sticks and stones.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like me personally, it's like when I heard people say stuff like that, I definitely had someone be like nigga and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I gave them a chance. I was like, don't
say that.
Don't never say it again.
Yeah.
And they said it another time when they were upset, and I was just like, I'm not fucking with you ever again.
You're
and
done.
And I literally just stopped talking. And I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna talk to you again.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I was pussy. I didn't say shit. I didn't even really respond when he said it. To be honest, when I was in high school, like I didn't know what to say. Like I'm not finna fight this man. I could have probably took him.
Yeah, because I mean, I definitely had white friends that even like they'll ask. They'd be like, "Oh, can I get a pass?" Or like,
get a pass.
Yeah, just say the N word.
Yeah.
Or like they just be really just. It always like it just boggled my mind. I'm like, why do you want to say it so much? Like I don't even say the shit like that. Like.
I do, but
oh, this black, like they named another black kid at my school. Like, oh, he lets me say it all the time. Like, it's the blah blah. Like, I don't care what he does. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm looking right at you. Do not say the shit in my face. I'm like, what's the confusion? Like, why do you have to bring up somebody else that's black? I'm like, I don't care that they black. Like, I'm telling you, I'm looking you in the face.
Exactly.
No, no, you can't. Like, I'm not gonna fuck with it.
But that's what the issue is. Like you, that's how you know they don't really respect black people if they say that. Because like, okay, your other black friends say it, but you're in a different environment now. I'm a different black person. We're not all the same.
Yeah, you know just think we're all monolithic, and that we just all just think the same. Like,
right?
We all aren't raised the same.
Not at all.
Just because he don't mind that shit, and he just grew up with that, it's like that don't mean that I did. Like, I have a whole different family. And values that I respect in my ancestors. It's like I don't want you saying the shit in my presence.
Yeah, and I do think you brought up a good point too. Like some people, like I feel like our generation, the ones that started saying nigga for real, like with the A. Like yeah, they were saying it before, but like we the first ones where it was just like, oh, this shit cool, it's popping, it's in music now. Like yeah, Richard Pryor was saying it, but he was saying the ER for real. Like but. So the older generations of black people, they would not fuck with us saying nigga all the time. Like they don't say it all the time for the most part. But
I mean, this shit's been definitely going around since like the 90s, 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's been about 20, 30 years at this point. So
yeah, I mean it's here now. Like
it's been ingrained.
Like the N-word pass is new. Like niggas was like now they got to ask to say it. You know what I mean? Before they were just saying that shit just because like it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, and it just that they can feel like they can use like I've definitely had like white people just, they'll say things like jokes and it just be like what the hell is funny? Like they'll say the word or like and they'll really just be like dying laughing like about shit and I'm just looking I'm like what the hell is so funny with y'all? Like why does that tickle you so much?
Right,
Like
right, right, right.
it really always just confused me. It just be like they like just saying stuff or the idea of talking black. Like I
Yeah.
hate the term talking black, talking white. Like that used to tickle them. Like they used to just like have so much fun and joy out of doing that.
Talk ghetto.
Yeah, they'd be like they talk like it'd be me. They'd be like, "Why you talk so white?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" I'm talking like
Oh my
just normal
god.
conversation. I'm not talking white. I'm talking how I said like, and I literally told people I was like, "Don't tell me I'm talking white." I'm like, "What are you talking about? How does a black person sound?" And they can
Tell
never
me.
answer. Like they'd be like, it's always something ignorant. Like it'd be like, you've never heard me talk like that. Like it's like, why do you think that's talking black?
Right, a black person is in front of you talking,
Like
and you
I've
going,
been talking to you like this. Like how you talk.
right,
And like
like,
you say I'm saying, why you talking? Well, I'm like, yes. This white dude told me I was the whitest black person he ever met, and I'm just sitting there like,
wow.
what the fuck are you talking about?
You though, I feel like
You
that.
the
Why would they say that
whitest
to you?
person like I ever seen. I'm like,
Why would they say that to you though? I feel like that's not even you. I mean, yeah, it's problematic to say that to somebody, but it's not even you though.
because I was smart. Like
Oh,
that's
see there.
literally how like I took it. It was just like because I'm a smart black man. Like
Wow, you're so articulate.
yeah, and it's just like why do you feel like like because I don't act ignorant. Like there was like multiple black dudes, and they were trying to portray, well, I'm from Detroit, and
Hmm.
try to act a certain way, and like blah blah blah, whatever. It'd just be like, even then, I'd be like, why do you feel like you have to act like that? Like, but I feel like just maturity.
Yeah,
Like people like who did that and talked like that back then, they're not really. I know them now, and they're not even talking like that anymore. Like they just be like, it was just childish thing. It was just you're in middle school, high school, and that's just what
right.
it was at the
Trying to
time.
find yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like talking articulate doesn't mean you're less black. Like I just never understood that idea, that concept.
Or talking quote unquote black don't mean you unintelligent too.
Yeah, or talking
Talking with an
intelligent
accent.
mean you're white. Like I'm like,
Yeah, like that don't mean. But this is the thing. There's
there's
so
plenty
many
of white people
connotations.
that been are unintelligent that I've ran into.
No cap.
Like majority, like, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say
No,
majority.
don't go there.
Like so, like it is what it is.
It's because it was kind of interesting. This kind of what we was talking about last week or the last time, one of our last podcasts where you were saying like, why is it? Why do we not show love? Because it should be masculine, should be feminine. Like this is just another one of them things where it's like we assign these different things to things. It's just like so if you talk in a certain way, then you intelligent, or if you talk in a certain way, then you're not intelligent. You know what I mean? So it's like, why do
Mm-hmm.
we have? There's so many assignments to shit that shouldn't have assignments, and it's like it seems like we get all the bad ones. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like black is always determined with evil or dark.
Yeah,
Like when you talk about white, you know what I mean everything was assigned back in the day. Like
yeah,
it was a reason why.
yeah, yeah.
Like
No,
white
for sure.
is angels, it's Jesus, it's
Yeah, like
everybody,
what?
it's every public figure in the Bible is white. Like it just
Come on now.
doesn't. Come on now, it's like how do you want me to look at this? Like you're trying to portray as white as the Almighty, and everything black is evil, is a demon, is just dark.
Hmm.
It's something you steer away from, like just in society. It just these society norms that you just like you instill, and it's even like kids or children's books. Like they do this, like
Yeah,
they portray dark skinned people as like something that's just mad and just angry or just
or even Birth of a Nation. Remember, you know that old ass movie Birth of a Nation? How they portray like that's one of the things that I always look back at and it's like, man, like they did a good job though. Like that's something I always say is like they set out to make people look a certain way and they did it because it's still here. So it's like, some gotta give to break all these, connotations down. And
The conversation got to be had, and that's what we're having here. So this is the Friends podcast, and let us know what you think about some of these topics. I know we might pull the cord, and I know that everyone has their own experience, so I want to hear about
mhm.
them. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into our love and hate. If you love it, then we're gonna say love. That means you gotta love the entire record, from start to finish. If you hate, I mean, maybe a verse wasn't really rocking with like that. It could have been like the rest of the record. You was like, man, this shit hard, but it got to be hate. You got to love it all the way for it to be
Mhm.
love. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first record here is Ken Carson, The End. He just released his project at X, I think,
Yep, I think that's what it was called. So
or
yeah,
X.
that's for y'all that don't know, that's Playboy Cardi's artist. I think he's artist.
His
Excuse me.
son.
Basically, his son. They don't really sound alike though, to be honest. But
I ain't
yeah,
gonna lie, I did listen to the album. I started it,
okay.
but I got through probably like 2 songs, and then
He don't be talking about shit, to be
yeah, I
honest.
turned it off.
Just like his father. You know what I mean? Like, but I think the thing I like about him is it just, I don't know. I like the beats he be on, to be honest. And there's no exception to this song too. Like the end, the beat is incredible. Like the people
Yeah,
that,
that's why Playboy Cardi is him. Like he be choosing good beats.
yeah. And the thing about Ken Carson, he's working with like it's this new type of rap that's coming out. Like Trippie Redd's last album is basically that style. I know we know that Activist does this a lot of this style, but it's just a few producers that make this certain sound of beats. I think it's called like hyper pop, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but so he had Out of Town and Starboy produced this one, and so the beat is good. The beat is good, but in terms of like the lyrics and he sound good on it, you know what I mean. But the thing about Ken Carson, he don't be talking about shit. Like I like his music because I like the beats. So for this one, I'll say hate. Um,
Yeah, that's the thing. I like emotion over record. Like
yeah.
if I can feel it, like I know a lot of times I'd be like, oh, niggas be always talking money, cars, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
But and people may have hate on, I'm gonna say Lil Uzi. I'm just throwing his name out there, no particular. But the thing about Lil Uzi, like you can always feel his emotion from the record.
No,
It's
for
it's
sure.
it's not like he may not be saying anything at all, but it's like you still feel it and you what he was going for, or the gist. And a lot of times he definitely puts his emotion on wax.
Hmm.
Like if he's feeling sad or about a breakup or anything, like the record just sounds like complete breakup, like you're falling apart. Like that. If it's happy and about money, it's like you're gonna feel like the emotion coming from the record. Like you're gonna feel happy and like
Hmm.
the record. It's the same thing with Playboy Cardi. Really, it's just the energy behind the music.
Yeah, like the rage almost.
Yeah, it's like it's just a feeling.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, just this with like those kind of artists, like that's why I kind of have like a love and hate of people who say something in the record and people who don't,
Hmm. Hmm.
because like yeah, I do have these people that I love that don't really say anything, but it's definitely I feel them.
Right. No, I do agree with that. Like, what Carla Black said. Like, you gotta feel the music. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Somebody else said that too. I think Nessie Dorilla said that as well. Like, you have to feel music. It's not just something to listen to. Like, it has to give you a
Yeah,
feeling.
he
So
says the vibrations.
it's the vibes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I feel that.
I
I
know even
definitely feel
Kendrick
that.
Lamar spoke about that vibrations.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's real. Like even they say like the 808 is like a dark, like because that's like on a low end, and like the 808 just has certain vibrations that bring out a certain mood or certain like what I'm saying, like certain type of mood from you. But anyway, let's
Hmm.
move on. We rambling at this point. All right, so let's talk about Rolando Soul. He just dropped a new single called Venice. So love or hate, how you feel about it?
Man, he just dropped this song very recently. This record is fucking fire. I've
Hmm.
been having this shit on repeat. Um, it was like when I first heard the beat, it was very West Coast vibe, which I haven't seen him rap on those kind of beats before. So that was something new and interesting that I really enjoyed. And yeah, he was just floating on this shit, floating like a motherfucker. So I really
Not
fuck
for
with
real.
this record, Venice. It was good with the hook, the verse. Yeah, I was just really rocking, right?
Yeah, man, super dope. Check that
Yeah,
out, man. That's Friends Podcast alumni, so definitely check that out on streaming
yeah.
platforms today.
We interviewed him, so check that out. Rolando Soul interview.
Yes,
And
sir.
so the next record here, DJ Premier, The Root of All Evil, featuring Slick Rick and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, man. So I went into the song not wanting to enjoy Slick Rick's verse because that's old nigga rap, and I don't really. That's not my vibe these days. But it was cool though. It was actually cool. Like I liked the way he was flowing on there. I like what he said. Like he sounded like a fresh new rapper. Like he was still rapping old school, but it was still like kind of he had some cool new flows that I'd never heard before. And then of course Lil Wayne came through. Like obviously Lil Wayne just like at this point it's just like man, it don't even make sense how good how good this man can rap. The beat was cool. I won't say I like absolutely love the beat, but I will say that I love the song just because Lil Wayne verse was just so like just
Yeah,
chef's kiss, just like
people definitely be hyping up DJ Premier beats. In my
nah, he a legend
opinion,
though. You
yeah,
don't like his
that's the
beats?
thing. It's like people just put these labels on people. They're a legend because they old. Um,
I mean,
and
he got
they
beats
work
on.
with great. I mean, yeah, he definitely has some good music and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm all right.
you don't
So
fuck with the
let's
beats like that though.
in today's age,
Yeah,
I I don't care for him.
like the beats he's making today, or just you
The
talking
beats
about in
he's making
general?
today, I don't care for.
Mm,
Like I see him like with Griselda, and I see some of the beats he be doing with them. I'm just like, okay.
mm.
Um, I mean, that's really why I guess I heard it. I'm just like, yeah, it's smooth.
Yeah,
It
he
ain't.
made this interesting beat for Wale, a song called "Why Would I Stop." I think that was this year. I like the beat. It was just real. I never heard no beat like that. So, and it didn't even sound like Premiere. So, I don't know. Maybe he just lost the sauce though. It's possible.
Nah, I ain't trying to say all that just to like be hated or whatever. It's like he already proved himself. So at this point, you ain't got nothing else to prove. Like
Yeah,
you
nigga could fart
already
on the beat.
exactly like. If I don't fuck with it, I'm just not from your era of hip hop and rap. Like I'm not from the 70s, 80s, whatever. Whenever you was like really big, I'm just not from that era. And I don't have that same sound or that ear for that kind of music. Like that's just not my kind of music. I don't want to
Yeah,
hear it. I don't want to hear a DJ Premier beat.
yeah.
But I mean, I did actually. I mean, I fucked with the Premiere and what's the P Rhyme. So
Oh yeah, P Rhyme. Yeah,
yeah, those projects. I mean, so I mean, I did fuck with that. So, but Royce was just rapping his ass off though, and
so that's the thing. Like they complement each other though.
yeah,
Like
it
if it
was
was,
complimenting each other. So
yeah, if it was just some other nigga, like it probably wouldn't have even went as crazy.
if it was
But
just a tape of your beats, it's just like I wouldn't listen to it. Like
right.
I'm good.
You needed both. Yeah, no, that's real.
So
All right, so let me. Oh, I think that's on you.
I just brought up DJ Premier. So
Damn, you right as hell. All right. So let's talk about the game, Violence. Did you love or hate that one?
the game has been rapping his ass off. Like he's been rapping like he got something to prove.
Yeah.
Lately, like he's rapping like it's a documentary again.
Mm.
Like the lately how he's been rapping, and this Violence track is hard. I fuck with the game and Hit Boy on this track. The beat, Hit Boy hasn't been missing. Like I don't know if I want to say like he's in his prime, but Hit Boy might be in his prime right now.
Yeah. I mean, cause he been around for like 10 years, so it's like, is it? Is his prime? It might be his prime. I don't know.
I'm thinking like it feels like this is his prime. Like he's really been going hard on these beats. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so many artists he's working with, and just the different styles that he's able to go in and out of. whether it's R&B, pop, like rap, like he's able to like go in so many different genres without you really even know it's him on the beat. It's ridiculous. So,
No, he's definitely dope.
but
So
anyways,
Love,
this Violence, I'm gonna say I love this track.
yeah, I'm listening to it right now. There's a Hit Boy beat.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, go ahead and get into the next one.
All right, so the last record here, Spot 'em, Got 'em, Get Backers.
Yeah, man. I just checked this one out because I fucked with the Beatbox by Spot 'em Got 'em. So I've been checking out like some of his shit that he dropped just to see like, okay, what he got next. This one, it was cool. Like, it was more of the same. It was more violence, as Game talked about. But the beat so Detroit inspired. And this nigga from like Jacksonville is like, can we please stop spreading the sauce around to like let Detroit people have Detroit beats, please. Like at least let us get the notoriety and or let Detroit get the notoriety and the you know the fame and all that shit first before we start hopping on Detroit beats and trying to take this off. Like that's just my only critique.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know the box challenge.
Yeah,
Um,
and that song was straight though. But
I mean, I heard what was the rapper name? It was a young dude.
NLE Chopper.
Yeah, NLE Chopper. He killed that shit. That was the only
he ate
version.
that shit up.
That's the only version I really heard was his.
Yeah,
and I was like,
he
he went hard.
Yeah, that shit was hard as hell. But in terms of this song, I'll just go ahead and say hate because, like I said, like stop stealing the Detroit sound. Like let us have that, or let them have that. I'm not from Detroit, so I can't say that.
I mean, I hate the artist, so
no, I feel that.
I don't fuck with him at all. I'm not tuning in to Spot 'em, Got 'em. Like,
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
All right, so last one I want to talk about is 070 Shake Cocoon. You love or hate that one?
Man, it's all love across all these records. This project has been on repeat for me. Really, like it's really grew on me. Like in the beginning, I was just like, yeah, this is good. Like, this sound and this like vibe, I was just like, man, this is real good. But now I'm just like, man, this shit is amazing. Like the beats, just the way the whole sound, like these records, like it's crazy. I'm definitely thinking like Mike Dean had a big part in the engineering of this album. Is very Kanye, Travis Scott kind of Sonics vibe that I get from this project, and her voice is it's above the rest for sure on this album.
Yeah,
like
she got it. It's interesting how they do her voice, like how they process it.
Yeah,
sounds real good.
And this Cocoon record, it's a very like dope ass bop. Like it gets you moving.
Okay, which I feel like all the music I heard from her is not no real like get you moving type music. It just sound great. So that's interesting. I got to check that one out.
Yeah, like Cocoon, and then it goes into Body, and Body is one that definitely gets you moving.
Okay.
That's the record I talked about in one of our past episodes that I highlighted. So,
yes, sir.
Project You Can't Kill Me.
070 Shake. Check that joint out.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this episode up. This is the Friends Podcast. Peace and love. Make sure you engage. Talk to us what you like and what you don't like. We want to hear it all. So you guys are our friends and we appreciate you. And we're out.
We out.